All right, what's up, everybody? It is Adrian, and today I'm excited, man. The Giants finished their draft class. They just brought in a bunch of undrafted, rather, free agents, and they're getting this roster together. Now, I am. This is going to be way too early, but I really want to do a 53-man roster prediction right now after the draft. It's literally April 28th. It's way too early. They're not even done making moves. They're, I think, three people over the roster limit right now, before signing their draft picks. So they're gonna chop at least three people before camp even starts, and they're probably gonna add other people and chop other people too. But it's probably going to be all guys on the lower end anyway, so it'll be exciting, it'll be fun, and I thought, why not? After this draft, I'm so excited to talk about it, so let's just dig right into this stuff. So, as you can see, we're going to start at quarterback. We got Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Jackson Dart, and Tommy DeVito on the roster. Russ is going to be the starter. Jameis, main backup. Jackson Dart is the future at the position, so that's our top three. Tommy DeVito just unfortunately doesn't fit into that program. We're not going to keep four. Maybe he makes it to the practice squad. I'm not sure. Either way, DeVito will not be on. I'd be shocked if we kept four. He's not going to be on the main roster. So that was quick. Let's move to running back. We got Tyrone Tracy. He's the starter. Singletary's still on the roster. He's going to be there. He's going to get carries. We drafted Cam Scattaboo. He is absolutely nasty. A very fun guy. A little cannonball, as the football grump said. Mike Allstott type vibe. If Tyrone Tracy's going to be getting most of the carries, once we get to the goal line situations or we get to short yardage, Cam Scattaboo is going to be getting the ball a lot in those situations. He's such a fun guy to watch. So after that, Eric Gray, Dante Turbo Miller, and undrafted free agent Rashawn Baker are added to the pool. I think one of those guys probably makes the roster as a fourth guy. I doubt we keep five with the top three getting most of the carries. I personally like Turbo Miller. I think he has the highest upside. Eric Gray is a former draft pick, so maybe he gets it over him, but I like Turbo Miller personally. I think he could still be a guy to get carries and not get completely embarrassed. So, yeah, I got Turbo making that as the fourth running back there. At receiver, so we have a crap load of receivers. You count them, 15 receivers on the roster right now, including draft picks, well, former draft picks and undrafted free agents and some free agent additions. So I think I'm going to make two separate cuts in this one because this is a lot of guys to go through. Malik Neighbors, obvious number one. Darius Slayton got re-signed. He's our number two. We got Wandale in the slot. Those guys are obvious locks. After that, it's pretty much wide open. I think Emir Smith-Marset is pretty much a lock. He was our returner last year when we finally got the situation under control. So unless somebody beats him out as a returner, which I don't see happening, he should be on the team. So that's four guys right there. I think maybe we keep six. We have kept seven at one point. We've also kept only five at one point. I'm saying we probably keep around six this year. So looking at this team, let's see. Bryce Ford Wheaton, Jalen Hyatt's a guy that could make it. He hasn't done anything really since we drafted him, but he still has immense talent. And if Russ can get him going, I think he could still be a piece for this team. So it just depends on what they see in him, what Dayball sees in him, because I know he was asking for a trade and he hasn't done much, like I said. But with the transition from Daniel Jones to Russell Wilson, I think he does have a place on this team. Other than him, Little Jordan Humphrey and Zach Pascal, both veterans. I think one of them probably makes the team, especially if Hyatt doesn't. It really just depends. I like Little Jordan Humphrey a little better there, so I think he has the biggest potential there to make the team. I really like Bryce Ford Wheaton too. A lot of special teams juice out of him. And he does have potential still, but he's been on the team for a couple years now and he hasn't done anything. So I'm not sure if he's going to be making it this time. Then undrafted guys, we got Bo Collins, Daquan Felton, Nate McCollum, Jordan Bly, Juice Wells, and Dalen Cambry. Some things to talk about. Nate McCollum, he could push Emir Smith-Marset for the return spot. I like Emir Smith-Marset, though, for that. Juice Wells, He played with Jackson Dart at Ole Miss, so he has a connection there. Maybe that helps him make the team. It really depends on how he looks in camp. Dalen Cambry, he has gunner potential on special teams. So if we want a special teams guy, Dalen Cambry could make the roster there. Uh, I do like Bo Collins. He out of Notre Dame. He played pretty well when he was in there. He does have a drop issue, so that could hurt him. But he's a very skilled player, so I think he has a real shot to make the team. First cut, I'm chopping my guy Bryce Ford Wheaton, Daquan Felton, Jordan Bly. Jordan Bly, that's Dre Bly's son, notably. So I mean, he's got the NFL genes in him, so maybe he could be a guy. Montrell Washington, I don't know all that much about him. I think he'd have to really impress to make it. Anybody really could make the team if they do really good in training camp. And then I'm cutting Dalen Cambry as well. Second cuts, I'm really torn between Lil Jordan Humphrey, Zach Pascal, Jalen Hyatt, Bo Collins, and Juice Wells for those last two spots that I want to make on this team. I'm going to go ahead and have Jalen Hyatt and Lil Jordan Humphrey make it as the fifth and sixth guys there. I think Jalen Hyatt really has that potential that Russell Wilson could get out of him. He could get traded still. I just think that out of all the players here, he probably has the highest ceiling. So I think they'll still want to explore that. And then Lil Jordan Humphrey, the savvy vet, and he's only 23, so he's still really young. And he's got a lot of potential out of Texas there. So I had him making the team. I would not be surprised if somebody like Bo Collins pushes Lil Jordan Humphrey or Jalen Hyatt out of the fifth or sixth spot as an undrafted free agent here. But those are my six guys for wide receiver. Moving to tight end, we got Theo Johnson. He is our starter. Chris Manhertz is pretty close to being a lock as well for this team. Exceptional blocker. Not much in the catching game, but we really take our blocking seriously out of the tight end position. So Manhertz should be on the team. After that, I mean, Thomas Fidone is a draft pick with a very high ceiling, so I imagine he makes the team. He does have injury concerns, so I mean, this is being made with the impression that no one gets hurt. People are going to get hurt, obviously, as we go. But so that's three tight ends. I imagine we keep four, and that leaves Daniel Bellinger and Greg Dulcich fighting for that final spot. Daniel Bellinger's been with the team for a while, and I like him, so I think I'm going to go with Bellinger as the fourth guy and the main backup if Theo Johnson ever goes down. So I am cutting Dulcich, and Jermaine Terry, I think, is pretty much a camp body. But Dulcich could make the team. He is a talented player, so I wouldn't be surprised. But for now, he is not making the cut. Moving to inside O-line, this one was a bit difficult. Now, we have John Runyon and John Michael Schmitz should be locks at those starting positions. Greg Van Roten will get pushed by Marcus Bowe for that starting right guard spot. But I think Greg Van Roten should be the guy. Bowe is, of course, a lock. They're going to try him out at tackle and probably center as well. He's very versatile, very exciting pick in the draft there. So that is, four guys right there. I think maybe five of these guys make it, and there's a lot of talented guys that are going to be battling for that final spot in my 53-man roster. Hudson and Morrissey are probably camp guys. That leaves Schlotman, Izudu, Kubas, and Aaron Stinney to make one final spot. I'm going to take out Schlotman. He was hurt all last year. He could make it, but I just don't view him as... I mean, we can train Van Roten and Bowe. We can train Van Roten and Bowe in the center spot. They're versatile, so I don't think we need Schlotman to be there as the backup center. That leaves Kubas, Stinney, and Izudu. Very difficult, very difficult. I like Aaron Stinney. He started with the Bucks for a long time. He started some games last year for us. I like him as a backup. So I do think he's going to make it. Now, that being said, we could keep another guy as well. Josh Izudu, former draft pick, and Jake Kubas, undrafted free agent from last year that was pretty impressive in camp. Both of them started multiple games for us last year. Izudu also plays tackle, so that could be, I mean, they drafted him and he plays tackle. They could keep him there, but I just don't think he's been very impressive when he's on the field. I kind of like Jake Kubas better, even though he's an undrafted guy. He wasn't amazing last year, but I think he stood tall when he had to, and was decent enough to where I think he could be the guy they keep here. So I am going to keep 6 guys, and I'm going to cut Josh Azudu for Jake Kubas in this situation. Now, I could be totally wrong. They could keep Azudu and Kubas could go back to the practice squad. But, I mean, Azudu's on the last year of his contract. They'll save like a little over $1 million from cutting him. Not that that matters too much, but if it's that close between Azudu and Kubas, I just think they're going to keep Kubas. So we'll see. Let's move to tackle now. Andrew Thomas, Jermaine, and Luminor, obvious locks to make this team. They're the starters. They're both very good at what they do. James Hudson, we signed to be our swing tackle. He's not going to get cut, so that's 3 locks right there. After that, I mean, Jason Williams, I think, is a camp body, undrafted guy. Stone Forsythe and Evan Neal will be competing, I think, to make a bubble spot on this roster. Forsythe could make it as the 4th tackle if we want it. He could even play better than James Hudson. Hudson's getting paid more, but if Forsythe plays better, then they're going to keep Forsythe. And Evan Neal, they have talked about moving him to guard this year because he's been absolutely horrendous at tackle anytime he's gone in. So they could move him to guard. And going back to guard real quick, I mean, I don't even know. I don't think he'd be better than Aaron Stinney. Maybe he could move into that backup guard role and make the team over Aaron Stinney or Jake Kubas. I think the fans don't like him. He's underperformed immensely. He hasn't seemed super interested in playing for New York. I think they're going to explore trade possibilities for him, and we're not going to get much in return, probably like a 7th, maybe a 6th rounder, but I do think someone will trade for him at some point before the season. So I'm going to go ahead and say Evan Neal is gone, and we get like a 7th or 6th round pick for him. And yeah, I chopped Forsythe and Williams too. So only 3 tackles make it, but like I said, Marcus Bowe is going to be cross-trained at tackle, so they could see him as that 4th tackle if they need him. So that's the O-line. Let's move to the defense and the D-line. Stay in the trenches. This is another interesting position. A lot of guys, 11 guys to pick through here. Dexter Lawrence, obvious lock there. Darius Alexander, huge draft pick. We like him. I like him to probably win the starting job in camp. We'll see. Roy Robertson Harris just got paid a little bit to be here. I think he's kind of a Nacho replacement. Speaking of Nacho, Raheem Nunez-Roches, he started for us last year next to Dexter Lawrence. He was decent enough, but he's just basically a rotational piece at this point in his career. And with his contract situation, we will save, I think, a little over $3 million by cutting him. So I actually expect Nacho to be gone within the next month probably as we start to sign our rookie player. So I don't think Nacho is going to be on the team. Jeremiah Ledbetter, he could make it as a rotational piece. Elijah Chapman, undrafted guy from last year, I believe. It could be 2 years ago. But he's put on some good tape for us as a backup lineman. So I like Elijah Chapman. Jordan Riley and DJ Davidson, both former draft picks, late round draft picks. Neither of them have really shown anything for us. So I think they're really going to be battling to make it as one of the last guys on the 53. Casey Rogers and Corey Durden are kind of like training camp bodies in my opinion. And then Elijah Garcia, he's another guy kind of like Jordan Riley and DJ Davidson that could be a bubble player to make the team. He did have a really good game for us last year, but other than that, it was mostly just like, okay, he's here, he's on the team. So I think 4 or 5 guys could make it here. I'm saying 4, and I'll talk about that a little bit in the next on the next slide. But yeah, I have Dexter Lawrence, Darius Alexander, Roy Robertson Harris, and Elijah Chapman making the team. Ledbetter could make it as a 5th guy, or maybe one of the draft picks, but I think we're probably going to move on from the rest of the guys here. Moving to edge is why I only have 4 D linemen making it, is because Chauncey Golston, who we just brought in, can play he can put his hand down in the dirt and play on that D line. So they could see him as a fifth D lineman up front. But yeah, the edge position, Abdul Carter, he's going to be phenomenal. I'm very excited to see him get on the field. Brian Burns is, of course, our other starter. Kayvon Thibodeau, he was our starter last year, high round draft pick with a lot of potential, very high ceiling still. There have been trade talks, at least from the media, about Kayvon Thibodeau, but we did just pick up his fifth-year option, and I do think that he is still going to be on the team. I'd be pretty surprised if we traded him. I don't think it'd be worth it. I don't know what we would get in return. I think it'd be like a third, maybe a second rounder. If it's a second rounder, I guess they'd probably consider it. But at least to start off the year, I mean, we have until what, week 6? It might have, did they push it up to week 8? I don't know, but well, we have until like week 6 at least to think about trading him. So I think he's going to make the team at least initially. I don't think we'll trade him. He'll be a very good asset to have to switch out with Abdul Carter and Brian Burns at times. Chauncey Golston, like I said, he can put his hand in the dirt and play on the inside D-line as well. But I think he will get some edge play, so I put him here with the edge runners. I like Chauncey Golston. I think he's going to play a pretty important depth role for us and get in there at times. He can make plays. And then with those additions, it's going to make it pretty hard for the rest of these guys to make the team. Trace Ford, I think, is a camp body. Tamon Fox has been on the team for a while now. I like Tamon Fox. He has some talent, good depth piece. But with the group that we brought in and the talent that we brought in, I just don't know if he's going to be able to make the team. Hopefully we can get him on the practice squad. I like Tamon Fox, but I don't think he's going to make the team. And then Victor Dimukeji, we signed him as a free agent before we drafted Abdul Carter. If we keep 5 guys, I think he would be the number 5. I don't know if we do, but for now, I'm going to say he makes the team as the 5th guy on the edge, especially if Chauncey Golston's going to be moving on into the inside. Victor Dimukeji would be a good backup there at edge. Moving to linebacker, we have some good players here. Bobby Okereke's coming back. We want a bounce back year from him. He's our leader on the defense. Really like him. Micah McFadden had a huge step up last year as our other starter at linebacker, especially when Bobby Oke went down. McFadden was very important to this defense, so he should be the starter once again. After him, Muasau, we drafted last year. He played pretty decent when he had to come in after Bobby O went down, and in the first game of the year when McFadden missed the game. So he should make the team. Deontay Johnson, he missed almost all of last year. He did get in some reps in the final game of the year when it didn't really matter. But I will say in the preseason, Deontay Johnson was seriously pushing Micah McFadden for a starting role. So I think he has the talent and skill level to make the team and play sometimes. I like Deontay Johnson a lot. Ty Summers, I think, is a camp body. And then Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles and Chris Board. We signed both of those guys to kind of replace Carter Coughlin in the gunner special teams linebacker role. I like Chris Board a little better for that spot. Both of them could make the team. We seem to be taking special teams a little seriously these days, so they could definitely both make the team. But if I had to pick one, it would be Chris Board, and that's what I'm going to do. 5 linebackers with Chris Board finishing it out. Moving to corner, we got some exciting guys here now, too. We signed Paulson Adebo. He's going to be our main guy. It'll be exciting to see what he can do at the 1 spot. Tay Banks returns. He's going to be our number 2 instead of our number 1. I like him a lot better as our number 2. I think he will actually improve quite a bit with Adebo next to him. Or, well, not next to him, but on the other side there. And then Drew Phillips in the nickel. He really came on last year in the nickel spot. He should be back as our starter. After them, it's a little bit rough. I mean, Cordell Flott, he did improve immensely last year. He was pretty awful the year before, but last year he played pretty decent when he went in. So he should be our main backup, probably both in the outside and inside. He can play both ways. After him, we drafted Corey Black in the 7th round. He's got very good skill set. He's probably going to play a lot on special teams. He could be our main gunner. And I don't really expect him to play anything on defense, but he should make the team. He's quite skilled, and like I said, he was a draft pick. And then that is, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 guys. I think we probably will keep 6 we might keep a safety instead of a sixth corner, but for now I am gonna predict a sixth corner here. And it's really just open for debate on who's going to be that sixth guy. Trey Hawkins, a former draft pick, a couple of years ago, he looked really good and ended up starting for us, and then just got absolutely annihilated by receivers when we actually started playing in game, and he pretty much hasn't seen the field since. So he could be a cut candidate, but he's also still skilled despite not being in favor in the defense there. So there's going to be a lot of competition against him. D. Williams, Nick Jones, Art Green, R.J. Delancey is a free agent, undrafted free agent guy. Any of these guys could really make the team. I like Nick Jones a little bit. He might be able to play nickel there if we want another backup nickel, but ultimately none of them really stood out too much for me. So I just ended up keeping Trey Hawkins. This could be a spot where we add another guy to compete for the back end of the roster there, or we just keep one of these guys if they show out in camp. You never know. Moving to safety, Tyler Nubin, great addition last year in the draft. I think he's going to really step up this year. And then Javon Holland, big signing in free agency at the other starter position. After them, Dane Belton is our main backup. He was okay last year when he had to come in and play when Nubin went down. There could be improvement there, but as it is, Dane Belton is the main backup, so he's definitely making the team. After him, I think it's pretty open. I think we probably keep 4, maybe 5 safeties. Anthony Johnson Jr. was on the team all of last year, so I think he has the inside track to make it as the final safety in my prediction. He also has nickel flexibility, so if we want a backup nickel, Anthony Johnson Jr. has that flexibility, so I think that makes him pretty important to this team. Raheem Lane, I mean, nothing really for him there for me. I think he's kind of a camp body. I mean, he can compete. He can compete to make the team. Not too exciting for me. Makari Page and Tommy McCormick, both undrafted free agents this year. Initially, when I was looking at these guys, I thought Makari Page. I think I just got the name Makari from one of the other high draft picks, so I don't really know Makari Page, because watching him, I wasn't all that excited, actually. But Tommy McCormick, watching Tommy McCormick's tape got me a little excited. He's a little feisty guy at safety, man. They called him Turnover Tommy Idaho. Yeah, they called him Turnover Tommy. He has a knack for just getting to the ball. He hits players, he wraps up, he makes good tackles. He's got good enough speed to last, and like I said, he can be a bit of a turnover machine. He can jump routes, he can grab the ball out of defenders' hands, he sticks people, he can hit. He's a fun player to watch. I think if there's any, I mean, maybe some of the receivers like Bo Collins, but I think my most exciting undrafted free agent this year is Tommy McCormick at safety. So I think if we keep 5 guys, Tommy McCormick will be that 5th safety, and he will push Anthony Johnson Jr. for that 4th spot if we keep 4 only. But like I said earlier, Anthony Johnson Jr. has nickel flexibility. If they can get Tommy McCormick in the nickel, if he can learn that position, or if he just really shows out in training camp and in the preseason, I think Tommy McCormick could and should be the guy. But since Anthony Johnson Jr. was on the team all last year, and since he has that flexibility, I am going to predict Anthony Johnson Jr. to get that 4th spot. I am excited to watch Tommy McCormick, though, in the preseason. So I really am rooting for that guy to make it on this roster. Our final 3 spots is pretty obvious at the moment. Graham Gano, Jamie Gillen, and Casey Kreider are our special teams guys for the last few years now. They're all good. The only question is Graham Gano has gotten hurt both of the last 2 years, missed significant time. Plus, he's also old even for kicker standpoint. He's 38 now. So how much does he have left in the tank after those multiple injuries at his age is the question mark. Plus, on top of that, he also has a contract where it would behoove the Giants to try to work his contract down if they want to keep him, because they can save some good money if they do end up cutting him. So I think they're probably gonna go up to Graham Gano and see if they can restructure his contract and get some of that money back. But ultimately, who knows if he would want to do that. Right now, we don't have a viable option if Graham Gano is cut. So I am going to predict him to make the team. Jude McAtney, he's in the International Pathway Program, so he's going to be on the team regardless. He's just not going to count against the 53-man roster. So I put a little green X there. But yeah, the only thing here is Graham Gano could be a cut candidate, and if he is, we're going to bring in someone else. So I'm not going to predict a random guy that we bring in. So I'm just going to leave Graham Gano there for now. And I do like Graham Gano. He is solid. He makes 50-yard kicks regularly, and he's been in the league for a long time. So I like Graham Gano. It's just his contract and his injury history is a little rough now. But that is my 53-man roster prediction. Let me know in the comments section what you think, if you agree or disagree with anything, if you think there's some guys out there that we might want to add, if you think maybe Juice Wells should make the team instead of somebody like Lil Jordan Humphrey or Jalen Hyatt. Let me know in the comments. Until next time, though, guys, it's been fun, and I'm so excited to see this draft class in action this year. But yeah, we'll see you.